Home is a Feeling is a tune that I brought in. It was actually written earlier, but it was written in waltz timing. So immediately the band heard it, they wanted to actually try straightening it out into 4/4 time, which kind of made it a lot better actually. And the song itself is sort of like about travelling and returning home, and that kind of feeling of arriving home jet lagged. So the jet lag thing was the big catalyst for a lot of the sounds, the way it's recorded, a lot of the techniques we used to evoke this feeling of jet lag and dislocation. We varispeeded a lot of stuff on the record. Like the drums are slowed down, the bass is speeded up, I think, or the vocals are both slow and fast, aren't they? We did some of the backing vocals really fast and slowed them down, and vice versa.
But it was one that we demoed vocally in my studio in Oxford on a week of on a vocal week that I was with Andy, and I guess it kind of captures something that Errol really liked, and it was one of the vocal takes that ended up staying from a demo vocal, so to speak. But and I guess in a more sort of slightly corny way or whatever, it's we were in Oxford. It was Andy's home at a certain point. It's still my home, and yeah, we're singing about home as a feeling, so maybe there's something in that as well. I don't know.
Of the album, that's the one that harks back most to the early 90s kind of sound. We just decided to go for it with it. We were referencing Slow by the Valentines pretty heavily. Bass sound, guitar sound, drum sound, vocal sound. So yeah, that's all the sounds. There's a keyboard solo that comes about a minute or two into the song. The sound was the same vocal sample patch that Errol created out of our harmonies. So we recorded that overdub at Errol's studio as well.
And which was the same technique that we used that Errol used for the start of Lannoy Point as well. So it's kind of that sort of vocal mangled thing through Andy's pedal, kind of making another appearance later into the record.
It's a one-trick pony really, Errol. It's just all about that sample keyboard, that's it. That's what he brings to the table.
Yeah. You take us through the pedal board.
For me, I just love the whole atmosphere of the song. The whole kind of Boards of Canada vibe about it. It's all very kind of, it's got a lot of like tape stretch. It sounds like the song's not kind of in tune, or there's a bit of an edge to it. And I hate talking about the bass, but and I've said it already, the bass sound on that particular track is 30 years of hard work trying to nail the definitive sound, and I think that...
Debbie Gooch.
Yeah, so finally I've managed to almost get to the slow bass sound of My Bloody Valentine, but yeah, very happy.
Some of the comments that came through on Twitter or whatever, I don't know where I read it, but there was one, they did mention about the bass sound, but there was one particular, I remember that it was a guy sort of saying, you know, I'm someone that's never taken any kind of drug in my life, but I feel that if I did, it would kind of, everything would sound like that.
One of the things that we covered a lot on this album was there's a lot of technology around nowadays that we can use, but a lot of it was quite traditional techniques, but ones that maybe we'd forgotten and were too maybe they were worth rediscovering. And one of them was sort of slowing things down and speeding them up. And for Home is a Feeling, as we say, initially it was in a kind of 3/4 waltz, and then we sort of kind of straightened it out into a 4/4. But it's got that sort of, to get that woozy and slightly sort of laid back feeling, we decided to slow down the drums, and so it was very bizarre to imagine the track as it was and then be sent back into the live room to play a fast version of it, and hear chipmunks in your headphones with Mark and Andy and everyone just kind of like they're playing on banjos or something, and you know, just playing a double time sort of really fast version of it, and it, you know, kind of ridiculous in your head, but you're just going to, I hope Errol knows what he's doing, and so you do like a really fast version of it, and then of course come back in, sit down, listen back to it, and it's just this, you know, this huge kit sound or whatever. The whole thing sounded, you know, bigger from that, and I think we did it on the bass, and I think there's even some vocals that we slowed down and sped back up again to make them higher, so that so we made things lower and higher, and that's what you get in that track, is you've got sped up, slowed down, all at the same time.
And chipmunks.
Yeah.